Hi, and welcome to FTDT Drumming, a new channel all about drumming. If you haven't watched the intro video, go ahead and watch it. I give a little background about myself and some of the things I've done. Okay, this first video is going to be more informative rather than playing and is aimed at the true beginning drummer, or more specifically to those just having the thought of wanting to be a drummer, meaning you have nothing but your hands and a table or your lap or the air to drum on. If you already have your sticks and your drums or your drum pad, you perhaps still might benefit from some of the following info. First off, I'm going to ask you a question. What is your reason for wanting to learn the drums? As a hobby? For fun? To be a rock star? Is it to make a living? So what is your goal? Your answer will probably determine how far you progress in your skills as a drummer. If you just want to set up a set of drums in the place where you live and no one's going to complain, you just want to bang on them for fun or to get out your aggressions. Basically, if you don't care anything about technique, or whatever you're doing is right or wrong, then you don't need these or any other videos about learning the drums. Buy whatever sticks you want, whatever drums you like, and start banging. You'll have fun, at least for a while. Now on the other spectrum, if your goal is to make a living playing the drums, then you want to absorb as much info as possible, whether through instructional videos or listening to and watching other good drummers play, practicing consistently, just learning and knowing everything you can about the drums. Immerse yourself in drumming every waking moment you can or that you have time for. If you think, you know what, I'm doing good practicing 1 hour a day. No, there's someone out there doing 2 hours a day. If you think 2 hours is good, there's someone out there practicing 4 hours, and so on. You might be saying now, okay, we got it. Well, let's start playing, all right? Well, slow down. Remember, some of you might not even have sticks yet. So let's start there. Actually, let me ask another question to those who already have started taking lessons or wanting to learn and have their sticks and they have their drums. If I said to you, give me a shuffle beat on the rim of the large tom with the shoulder of the stick, would you know what to do? If you're more intermediate and advanced, I would assume that you would know, but there's some of you that still might not. Okay, back to the brand new spanking drummer with nothing but the dream of being a star. Where do you start? Well, the sticks. You need sticks. If you have sticks, you can start playing on anything around the house, like your bed, the floor, chairs. Put a mouse pad on a small table or a stool, or maybe you find an old piece of 2x4 wood, saw a little chunk of it off. Find a piece of cloth or a towel or an old shirt and wrap it around it to dampen the sound. You got something to play on. Now you get the idea. You don't need to have drums right away if for any reason you can't attain them. Now, if you do have drums and no sticks, well, you have to play with your hands. While there's been some well-known drummers playing parts of solos with their hands, it's not something you want to start practicing. Look, if you have nothing else to start with, get some sticks. You might probably ask, what sticks should I buy? Oh, you walk into a drum store or the guitar center and there's a rack of sticks like a museum. It's like, oh my goodness, you just wanted drumsticks. Why are there so many? Well, let's go over that a little. There's basically 4 types of sticks labeled as the letters A, B, D, and S. There's other sticks from major brands like ProMark and Zildjian and Vic Firth that have signature drumsticks like the Matt Garska Artist Series or the Roy Haynes signature sticks, etc. Let's just go by A, B, D, and S. S stands for street, and they're the thickest of the sticks, primarily for marching drum lines and marching bands. D was used by Gretsch and stands for dance band. B stands for band, and of course A stands for, anybody? That's right, orchestra. What? Well, this was because William Ludwig Sr., founder of the Ludwig Drum Company, chose the letter A designation because it printed better. He simply preferred the letter A to O. Now that's a story I read, and who am I to defy his logic, because the A is obviously used to this day. So we know what the letters stand for. Now what do the numbers mean? You see a 2B, a 7A, a 3S. The number part signifies the circumference of the stick. In general, the lower the number, as in 5 is lower than 7, the larger the circumference. And the higher the number, the smaller the circumference. I know, everything seems reversed. The higher number should be larger and the smaller number, anyway, for example, A 7A stick with the higher number than the 5A is smaller in circumference than the 5A, which in turn is narrower than the 2B. The one exception is the 3S, which has a larger circumference than the 2B despite the number. Okay, you might be saying, I haven't even got sticks and I have to do math to understand? No, but it is knowledge. And remember, the more you know about a subject or your profession, the better. I personally have always been a 5A stick person. It works best for me. I can play every style. I do have a pair of 5Bs, which is a little heavier and slightly longer of a stick. So if you go in a store, you find a pair of sticks that fit your hands or your body type. A bigger body type would probably prefer a heavier stick in perhaps the B line of sticks or a longer stick. Now, you look at some of the sticks and you should notice there's different tips on the sticks. Oh, come on, let's just play. We'll get there, but this video is for the true beginners. Regarding the tips of the sticks, there's basically 5 different shapes of stick tips. I had to say that carefully, each with its own tonal quality and a choice of wood or nylon. The oval, the largest spectrum of sound. The teardrops, the warm with the focused low tones. The round or the ball is clean, bright, and crisp. The acorn is full, rich, and fat, and barrel is punchy and loud. You can find all this online. About nylon tips, drummers prefer these for their durability and they have a more brilliant, distinct sound. But it's all preference. Some drummers like nylon tips, others prefer the softer, warmer sound of wood tips. And speaking of wood, there's different types of wood used to make sticks. There's maple, hickory, oak, birch, maple being the lightest of the woods and birch being the heaviest or most dense drumstick. All right, enough. Okay, enough. I get it. You know, everything else you want to learn about sticks, you can research on your own. I think I've exhausted your time as much as I can about sticks. All right, one more question for those who have their drumsticks already and more knowledge for those who are going to purchase theirs in the near future. Can you name the parts of the drumstick? Remember earlier I asked if you could know what I meant if I told you to give me a shuffle beat on the rim of the large tom with the shoulder of the stick. Well, this tapered part is the shoulder of the stick. And there are 4 parts to the drumstick. There's the tip, the shoulder, the shaft, and the butt. Yay, I finally picked up a stick. Now, I'm going to stop there for today. No, actually, we're going to do something as an exercise for the next minute or so while I finish up. For you beginners and everyone else, this is something you can do at any time of the day for just a couple minutes each time. This will show you a little about what muscles are going to be conditioned as you start drumming. You don't need any drumsticks or drums right now or pads, anything. You can do this while sitting, watching TV at the end of the day, or just do it with me right now as we take it on home. If you're sitting, put your hands on your lap, right around your knees area, and then lift them up comfortably. Now, close your hands slightly. Don't squeeze them tight. Pretend you're holding a small raw egg, and if you squeeze too tight, you'll crack the egg. And we're just going to alternate hands, flexing the wrist as high and as low as you can while keeping them relaxed. Now, before we start doing that, we're going to do the same thing with our feet at the same time. Feet are flat on the floor. We're going to keep the heel on the floor and try to get the rest of the foot as high as you can, alternating taps, okay? We're going to do the hands and the feet at the same time. Don't worry about rhythm or speed, but we don't want to go too slow. Just pretend you're an athlete loosening up your wrist and your ankles, all right? All right, and begin. Now, all those people out there wanting to start learning but have no equipment yet, definitely go out and get yourself a pair of sticks. And if you can, pick up a practice pad. This one I have is the Evans Real Feel, but I'm not saying to go out and buy this one. It's just the one I have. Buy whatever your budget can afford or pick up a used one. Or if all else fails, play on a chair for now. The next video will also cover the beginning steps of drumming. How to hold the sticks, where to strike the drum, how to strike the drum. But we'll also start doing more intermediate and advanced stuff on a drum kit as we go. In other words, we're going to have something for everyone. I have one of the Roland V-Drum kits, the TD17, because I'm in a condo here in Vegas and I can't have acoustic drums. All right, stop the exercise. Now, that was about 45 seconds or so. Now, if you're new to drumming or even if you've played a little bit, you should feel or might feel a slight burn in your forearms here. You know, if you did this correctly in your shins, you might feel some burn down there. That's good. That's what you can do to start conditioning yourself if you have nothing and no equipment yet. All right, just do this and just do that, and do your feet, and get the feet as high as you can. Try to, exaggerate. Okay, good. So anyway, that's it till next time. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments or give me an idea of what you would like to cover or learn as we move forward. Thanks for watching. Now let's go drum.